Has the party chosen a fighter instead of somebody who reconciles people of different views?
Well, Mr. Heath was a fighter. I think I'm a fighter. You fight firmly for what you believe in.
Then what do you think all these people are looking for from you?
I think decisive leadership. I think perhaps crystallizing the message a little bit more clearly and going forward on the basis of a conservative policy for all the people.
This
All
way,
right.
Mr. Thatcher. Right.
Yes?
Yep. Right.
Yeah.
That way, please. And one is this one. This way, madam.
You must have wasted an awful lot of film.
Mrs. Thatcher.
All right, I'll come round. Right.
This way, please.
Mrs. Thatcher. What? Way, please. Mrs. Thatcher, into this one, please.
Get in the car
Mrs.
in
Thatcher.
10 seconds. That's too tight.
Right round up.
Yes, I'm coming.
We're sitting much better looking through the microphone.
This is the abuse.
Very slow, because it's such a decisive result, and we can go forward now.
When do you expect to announce your shadow cabinet?
Well, I was going to ask you if the party is going to take any major difference in direction under your leadership, which people have been asking
Well, just give
themselves.
me a little time. The first thing I must do is to arrange a new shadow cabinet, but I hope that for the time being everyone will stay in their present positions until we've had time to make changes.
Mr Whitelaw's great cry was that he would be the unifier of the party. Do you think you can be a unifier and a healer after all this?
Oh my goodness me, after having the constituency associations with us just before the ballot, and then having such a decisive ballot, I hope there'll be no question now but that we should go forward as a united party.
And you think you can do that? You want to?
I believe so.
In other countries, Mrs Thatcher, when people back the losing candidate, those supporters of the losing candidate lose out. There are purges and things like this. Does that happen in the Conservative Party?
Good heavens, no. You remember when we had the differences between Mr Macmillan and Mr Butler for the leadership. After that, after Mr Macmillan was chosen, we went forward as never before to the biggest victory, because once the decision had been taken, everyone united and said we've more common ground than we have differences between us.
What about Mr Heath's close associates in the past? Are you going to use their talents?
We're all Conservatives. I shall use people and appoint people on the basis of merit. And also, we must see that the geographical areas are represented, but merit and geography and a wide spectrum of opinion within the party will be the basis upon which I shall form the new shadow cabinet.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Mrs
you.
Thatcher, was today's
when-
victory a victory for Margaret Thatcher alone, or was it for women
Right.
as well?
Thank you. We'll have to do the BBC next.
got them
because it's
inside.
on ITV.
Mrs. Thatcher, just for
Yes.
BBC.
BBC. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Someone wants something. Thank you. Very nice to see you. Someone wants something for the 6 o'clock. For the 6 o'clock. Hello, how are you? This way. I'll start over here and gradually work over there. Come on,
Actually,
would you miss us a side shadow, will you?
mind the lights.
This
All
way,
right.
Mr. Thatcher.
Yes?
Passage. Right of your party, and are you going to be in difficulties if you have a right-wing message for the country at a general election?
We couldn't have got 146 votes without appealing to the left, the middle, and the right wing of the party, to all facets of opinion.
Did you aim to do that, in fact, and do you think you have succeeded?
Yes, I think we have. It's a very good basis on which to go forward.
Then what do you think all these people are looking for from you?
I think decisive leadership. I think perhaps crystallizing the message a little bit more clearly and going forward on the basis of a conservative policy for all the people.
Are you more decisive than Mr Heath?
No, we were both very decisive, but we're both very different.
Has the party chosen a fighter instead of somebody who reconciles people of different views?
Well, Mr. Heath was a fighter. I think I'm a fighter. You fight firmly for what you believe in.
But do you think the country has been through a bad time of very partisan politics? And do you think Mr. Whitelaw might have been a better healer than you're going to be?
No, you don't exist as a party unless you have a clear philosophy and a clear message. And I don't think the country's been through a very, very partisan time from our viewpoint. The problem with the Conservative Party has been that each time Labour has got in, they've given several turns to the left, and we've never been able to undo some of those turns. And people say, well, what is the future for you?
Labour have done several turns to the left.
Indeed, yes.
You were not saying the Conservatives have adopted left-wing policies from the
No,
Labour
but there are
Party.
some things which is very, very difficult to unscramble unless you have a very clear mandate from the people to do so. And you only get that by having a clear, positive message, not by being against things, but by being for things. I mean, I learned this at the Ministry of Education.
Do you think there are strains in the country? Do you think there are differences between the rich and the poor, the haves and the have-nots, which are exaggerated, made worse by inflation? And is this something you've got to try and tackle?
Well, inflation affects different groups in very different ways, and some people have benefited from it. Their wage and salary increases have exceeded price increases by quite a large amount. Others have suffered by it enormously, because not everyone's had wage and salary increases to keep up with price increases, and those who've saved or taken out insurance policies have suffered a lot. And it's destroyed the faith of many people in some of our traditional ways of life, in being independent, in being thrifty, in saving for a rainy day. Now, those are things which you need to encourage.
Have you more sympathy with people who are competent at being thrifty, at saving for a rainy day, than you have with people who don't find it so easy to manage?
I believe that if people do save, you should not let their savings down.
And what about people who find it pretty hard to put anything by from a very small way?
Well, they're entirely free to spend all they earn or to save it. But you mustn't, in fact, let down those who put something by and then, in fact, find that it won't buy what they thought it would when they saved the money up in the first place.
To take one area where the Labour Party in modern politics has pioneered and where the Conservative Party has followed, are you a wholehearted believer in the welfare state?
I'm a wholehearted believer in having a floor below which no one can fall. This was Winston's phrase. You must, in fact, have a floor below which no one can fall, but above that, the sky's the limit.
Are any heads going to roll in the leadership of the Conservative Party now you come in?
Oh, heads roll, what a horrid phrase. There are a lot of young people on the back benches with a lot of talent. In our young day, we were given a chance by the then leaders of the party. They've a right to expect a chance too. But any leader of a party knows you've got to have two elements. One, continuity and experience, and the other, new faces and new talent.
So there will be new faces in your shadow cabinet.
I hope so.
Are we going to get the list quite soon?
I'm not going to be hustled into doing anything. I want to take advice and consultations about who should do what, and I'll do that in my own good time, but as fast as possible, because people are uncertain, and it's not nice not to know.
Have you a job for Mr Heath?
Of course, I shall offer Mr. Heath a job in the Shadow Cabinet. I said I would before I was elected, and I think we all should have done.
You will offer him a job. You won't, I suppose, put any pressure on him. Will he be
I
under
shouldn't dream of putting any pressure on him.
no sense of obligation that he should help you?
No, I think in any event he will be very, very active in the European campaign this summer. I mean, this is his great achievement to British history.
You're not going to keep him out for fear that he might dominate your front bench.
I shouldn't dream of doing that.
Mrs. Thatcher, thank you very much.